Every October, my friends Sarah, Mike, and I go to horror nights. It's our tradition. This year, the park advertised 15 haunted houses. By around 11 p.m., we had already gone through 14 of them, and we were exhausted. The lines were still long, and our feet hurt. But we were heading toward the final official house. That's when Mike suddenly stopped walking. "Wait," he whispered, pointing toward a dark alley between a food stand called Chainsaw Buffet and a row of portable restrooms. "What's that?" Hidden deep in the shadows was a small entrance archway. It looked old and forgotten. Flickering, dirty floodlights framed it, and above the entrance was a weathered, hand-painted sign that read, "The 16th house." "That makes no sense," Sarah said quietly. "There are only 15 houses." But what caught our attention wasn't just the sign. It was the line. There wasn't one. The queue area was completely empty. A single pale spotlight shone on a board looking employee leaning against a turnstile. Mike's face lit up. No line. "This has to be some secret bonus house. We're going in." We argued for about a minute. The house wasn't on the map. There was no security. And the employee looked strange. He stood still, like he'd been standing there for hours. But the idea of skipping a line was too tempting. We walked up. The employee slowly lifted his head. His eyes were cloudy and almost white. He didn't ask for tickets. He didn't say hello. He simply pointed toward the entrance and whispered, "They've been waiting for you. All three of you." That should have been our sign to leave. Instead, we shrugged and stepped inside. The moment we entered, everything felt wrong. There was no music, no actors, no jump scares. The rooms looked ordinary and almost boring. A dark living room, a hallway with cheap framed photos, a plain bathroom. "This is awful," Sarah whispered. "It's not even scary." Then we stepped into the next room, and everything changed. The house wasn't showing fake horror anymore. It was showing us . For Mike, the room became a perfect recreation of his grandmother's attic, the one where he'd been accidentally locked inside a storage chest as a child. The chest was right there, exactly as he remembered it. He froze, barely able to breathe. For Sarah, the room transformed into an empty lecture hall. It was the same one where she'd had a breakdown during her first public speech in front of hundreds of students. The seats were empty, but the silence felt loud and crushing. For me, the room became the narrow concrete staircase from my old office building, the one I used late at night. The lights flickered, and behind me, I heard the slow metallic scraping sound I remembered so well. The sound that meant I was completely alone. This house wasn't using monsters or masks. It had turned our worst memories into reality. Terrified, we moved forward in silence, desperate to get out. Finally, we reached an emergency exit door. We slammed into it, pushing with everything we had, but it wouldn't open. Then a voice spoke from the darkness behind us. It wasn't loud. It sounded dry and fragile, like old paper. "The other houses are designed to scare you," it whispered. "This house is designed to keep you, until your regret is complete." Mike found a light switch and flipped it wildly. The room stayed dark, but the exit door lit up. Carved into the metal were the words, "The only way out is through the door you forgot." We stared at it in horror. "The entrance," I said. "We have to go back." We ran. We sprinted back through the rooms, past the staircase, past the lecture hall, past the empty living room, until we reached the entrance. The archway was still there, but the employee was standing in the doorway now, blocking it. He smiled. His eyes rolled back until they were completely white. In his hands, he held 3 detailed maps of the theme park, one for each of us. We are scared, thinking he is here to stop us from getting out of here. But he stepped aside. We ran out into the noise and lights of horror nights, gasping for air. We collapsed on the concrete and looked back immediately. The alley was empty. No archway, no sign, no lights. Just the food stand and the portable restrooms. The 16th house was gone. We knew we had escaped, but we also knew the truth. The real horror is real, and the employee we saw earlier was a victim of it. He let us out because he don't want us to be a sacrifice as him.